Hello all. Thank you for joining us for this video on constraint-based spectral space template deformation for ear scans. My name is Srinivasan Ramachandran and I am a PhD student from Ecole des Technologies Supérieures. In this video, we are going to present a template fitting approach for ears. Virtual heads are important since they are employed across various fields. There are two steps in acquiring a virtual head. First, there is a raw geometric data of the scan, usually a point cloud. The second step registers a smooth, well-structured template mesh to the scan. The complexity of the human head only adds to the challenge. Furthermore, ears have not received a lot of attention in the literature. The goal of our approach is to fill this gap and focus on better template fitting for ears. It can be observed that the ears are naturally rich in their anatomical structure. From more scans of ears of real people, we notice that ears are different and diverse from each other. From our current dataset of meshes, we noticed they were noisy and of bad polygon quality, and also they contained rings and handles. Fitting a template to such scans can lead to reproducing a bad shape and also the noise along with it, which is not desirable as noticed in the examples of the FAST dataset. At the opposite, the phase warehouse dataset is an example of where it got rid of the noise in the ear region, but the template is not faithful to the original scan shape. Before we look into the proposed approach, let us have a brief discussion on the related literature. There are three literature areas important for ear template fitting. We will first begin with work related to facial parts. From the literature, we saw that there has been efforts to handle a single part of the face at a time, either for the purpose of faithful reconstruction or fitting or for better alignment with other part of the face. Hence, it was clear that there is no one magic method that handles all parts of the face. So far, there have been efforts to address specific parts like the eyes, eyelids, lips, jaw and teeth. On the other hand, it was seen that the ears received less attention when compared to other facial parts. The methods related to biometrics use a combination of color images and depth images. They address ears in terms of detection but do not address the reconstruction of ears. The third and final connected area of literature is on dense registration. There are many different ways a dense registration can be found, such as functional maps, Mobius transformations, parametrizing to simpler spaces, and deforming a source shape iteratively. Some methods also rely on user-provided landmarks to establish the mapping. It is challenging to adapt any of these registration methods to our context because some of them work only on ear isometry, which is not applicable in our case. Most of the method cannot handle the bad geometry of scans. The few that can handle the bad geometry pick up noise and other geometry problems and transfer these problems to the template, which is clearly something we don't desire. Finally, some require user-provided landmarks while we seek to have a fully automatic approach. This figure shows the pipeline of our approach. It begins with template and scan meshes and transforms them to a smooth domain where it is easier to align the template to the scan. Then we detect semantic features in image space and transfer these features to the respective smooth meshes. We continue with an iterative deformation of the template. After the iterations are finished, the proposed novel reconstruction adds back the details to the smooth mesh. As a final step, we deform the reconstructed template using constraints based on surface orientation. Let us now inspect each step of the pipeline in more details. Let us now look at the first step of the pipeline, which is creating the smooth meshes. This slide shows a general construction of smooth meshes. Eigenvectors are computed from the mesh Laplacian matrix. The vertex positions for the smooth domain are calculated by transforming the vertex positions of the original mesh. This is helpful for getting a simpler shape that will be easier to align. Let us now look at the alignment step. With the smooth domain meshes, it is easier to align the template and the scan. In our approach, we use GoICP that calculates the optimal translation and rotation between point clouds. We will now present our approach to identify constraints for deformation. We identify features on the ears that will later serve as deformation constraints. We render the ear meshes and conduct canny edge detection on the rendered images. We then transfer these features on the smooth meshes. The pixels resulting from the edge detection are unprojected back to the meshes to get their 3D locations. These 3D locations are barycentric coordinates, so it is possible to transfer them on the smooth meshes as well. Let us now look at our iterative deformation process. Now, we have the aligned smooth meshes and their semantic features as constraints. The purpose of the semantic features is to help deform the smooth template to match the shape of the smooth scan. But we cannot do that yet because they do not have any mapping between them. To find a mapping, we align the semantic features using GoICP, and then we find an injective map from the features of the smooth template to those of the smooth scan. Using this injective map, the smooth template is deformed. We iterate until the average distance in the mapping is less than a threshold value. When the iterations stop, we can see that the smooth template is similar to the smooth scan at the coarse level. We will now show how we add back the details while keeping the deformation from the smooth template. While adding back the details to the deformed smooth template, it is also necessary to preserve the deformation undergone during the previous iterative process. For the spectral reconstruction, we propose an energy minimization composed of two terms. The first term preserves the Laplacians of the original template to preserve its geometry. The second term consists of the deformation undergone in the smooth domain by the iterative process. This tries to enforce the shape change. The resulting vertex positions are the optimization of these two terms. All that remains now is to fine-tune the template to better fit the scan. This is the final step in our approach. To fine-tune the shape of a template, we use closest point correspondences. Instead of using all the closest point correspondence, we use a subset. We compare the surface orientation based on the normal of a vertex on the spectrally reconstructed template with the normal of the closest point on the surface of a scan. If the angle is within a threshold, then the closest point is considered, otherwise it is rejected. This subset of closest points is in fact a sparse map that is then used as constraints for the Laplacian surface editing. This last deformation of the template results in a shape close to the scan but without noise. The slide here shows the template fitting with various scans in our dataset. The first row shows the original scans, while the second row shows the fitting results. In the results, it can be seen that the template fitting works well and is faithful to the shape of the scans. Here, we present a second set of scans and fitted templates. We see from all these results that our approach avoids reconstructing the noise or geometry problems. The spectral reconstruction adds a boost to the template fitting because of its Laplacian term that tries to enforce the original details. To verify this, we tried our pipeline without considering the spectral reconstruction. Instead, we tried fitting based on the closest points between the iteratively deformed smooth template and the smooth scan. There were significant differences between both results when viewed with the colored region segmentation of the template. As you can see, the results using the smooth meshes induce lateral sliding, showing mismatched fitting areas. Conversely, our regular pipeline using spectral reconstruction provides results exempt of lateral sliding and with a smoother surface. Also, we compared our pipeline to a current mapping method produced by Lanner et al. This specific method was considered since most of the state-of-the-art methods weren't suitable because of our scan meshes quality. A drawback of this method is that it fails to produce dense mapping with our scans as they are high-density scans. Nevertheless, it was able to produce a sparse mapping of around 3000 points. We use these 3000 points as constraints for a Laplacian surface deformation, just as we do in the last step of our pipeline. This slide shows the result of the template fitting with two different scans using the constraints from the method of Lanner compared to our closest points. As you can see, The results of Lanner show lateral sliding pointed out by the red arrows. The semantic correspondence is clearly better with our results. Though our approach is robust, it has limitations. A first problem is that the helix regions are sometimes misaligned as seen in these examples. Also, it can be noticed that the helix region close to the crux is sometimes affected. In conclusion, we presented an approach that is fully automatic and robust to bad mesh quality. We demonstrated how a template is aligned both on coarse and fine levels with a scan through iterative deformation process. We feel that our spectral reconstruction approach is general and should be applicable for purposes other than ear fitting. As a future work, we want to consider replacing the fixed ear template with a 3D morphable ear model. Also, future work could investigate the generalization of the pipeline to consider shapes other than ears. Finally, a major improvement area is the choice of constraint, as the current choice is more restricted to ears. Thank you for your time to view this video.